All right, welcome back to the channel. Today we're discussing how Grand Theft Auto 6 might be the very last game ever made. Now, it sounds ridiculous, it sounds crazy. Of course, there are games coming out beyond 2026, but I want you to just take a deep breath and understand what happened. I'm speaking about it from an economic perspective. Every publisher who has games in the pipeline right now is going to attempt to ensure that the game comes out this year. That's one. So Capcom is already doing all they can. They're bringing out all their games. Resident Evil, Onimusha, Sony, I'm sure they're bringing out what they brought out Marathon already. They rushed it. So I guess that's fine. But of course, you see how Marathon has failed. Bungie, there's no Destiny 3, and Marathon is kind of a joke, unfortunately. Then, we're talking about Elder Scrolls. Elder Scrolls is probably cancelled. Elder Scrolls is probably gone. When was the Elder Scrolls revealed? It was revealed when? So Bethesda gives an update 18 hours ago. Starfield 2, not happening. Starfield is dead, according to this. It was revealed in 2018. This is 8 years since Elder Scrolls 6 was announced. 8 years. And the reason I'm talking about Elder Scrolls is because Starfield failed. Right? So it's clear that Elder Scrolls 6 is not likely to do much better. You can't do better than Skyrim, I'll tell you that much. And then they released Oblivion Remastered, and that did quite well. I don't know how well it did, but it did well enough. At least the remake or the remaster was, competent. But as a new IP or as a new entry in the series, Starfield failed, right? And if Starfield failed, it means that there is no solid foundation to build an Elder Scrolls 6 from. I'll give you an example. What was the last game Rockstar did? Rockstar did Red Dead 2, right? Red Dead Redemption 2. And that was 2018. So Red Dead came out the same time that Elder Scrolls 6 was announced, right? And from the graphics, the accomplishments, what they did with this game, they are learning those lessons in building what is likely going to be the game of this century, right? Because thinking about it, there's not much long left. We're in 2026 already. We're closer to 2030 than we are to 2020. So there's just nothing. There's just nothing on the horizon. And of course, we will look on the horizon, see, and we will attempt to have some hope if there's anything beyond 2026. But so far, we've already exposed Bethesda. Bethesda has nothing. There's no new Far Cry. Starfield is a joke. Apparently Starfield won't make sooner or be better. Do you see that? Abandoning Starfield, the single player game, but it needs help. It won't make Elder Scrolls come sooner or be better. So they have nothing. I didn't see that, honestly. Just get the story. But they have nothing to build Elder Scrolls 6 on. So you had Red Dead 2, and then the lessons they learned from GTA 5 were able to make them do Red Dead 2, and then from Red Dead 2 you now have GTA 6, right? You can see all the details. This is in-game, all this stuff. You can see all these details. This is clearly gameplay, right? So Bethesda is done, right? Bethesda is done. Now, next you have Sony Santa Monica. But wait, before we get to Sony Santa Monica, this is the game that is basically supposed to replace whatever Elder Scrolls 6 was going to be. So, who's that? Alright, so Gatekeeper, right? THQ Nordic, who's developing the game. So this is, if Elder Scrolls 6 be worthy of mention, it should be at least this good, right? Look at the graphics. This is pure gameplay.
Black credit and phone, we have ensured yet another ambush.
Just get back in the knapsack.
So, I'm a talking rat.
If Thus, you are a neophyte, whether you enjoy the title or not. As to how it may be opened.
Anyway, it's still kind of methodical or whatever. But I mean, beyond that, what do they have? There's nothing. There's actually nothing. So next we have Sony Santa Monica. This is all they do. All they do is God of War. Right? All they do is God of War. And the last God of War, Ragnarok, was a joke. You must understand that Ragnarok was a joke. This game was very homosexual in execution. And GDC 2023 presentations, June 27, 2019, they have nothing going forward. Their latest project is God of War Remake. Their latest project is a remake of a game they made 25 years ago, 20 years ago. So, what are they doing? What do they do? This is Sony PlayStation's biggest studio. This is a studio that is actually supposed to be leading the charge, right? And they don't have anything beyond a remake of a game they made 25 years ago. So games developed. This is what they are doing. Kinetica, whatever that is. God of War, God of War 2, God of War 3, God of War. All they do is God of War. And Ragnarok is so bad, and it was bad, that they couldn't make a game going forward. They made this trash, and they're going back to make these 3 games all over again. Isn't that strange? Isn't that strange? So these are all external development. The last external development they did was the Order 1886 and Final Princess. So they are finished, this guy. Sony Santa Monica is finished. So PlayStation, we all know PlayStation is there. Killzone is finished. Horizon, what's Horizon doing? So this is the latest Horizon game.
But what is Gorilla?
Horizon is doing. What is it? So it's like Fortnite, but 10 years too late.
Soldiers will always hold the line.
No, like you can get to make this game. Like, with this kind of art style, this indie looking, you could easily do that. So Sony bought Bungie. They shot the bed with Marathon. Marathon is gone. Where's Marathon? Marathon is finished. They shot the bed with Conquer. Marathon is a joke. There's no Destiny coming out. And truly, Destiny is also kind of dead if Marathon died. So there's nothing to build on that. And then, what? David Cage is not making games anymore. That's the guy that does Quantum Dream games like Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls. What was the last game they did? Detroit, Become Human. So there's nothing for Sony. Like, what Sony Bend closed. So they just closed studio, Sony Bend. Then you have what? Beyond Good and Evil. Beyond Good and Evil is also cancelled, as far as I'm concerned. This game is not coming out. It's a prequel to Beyond Good and Evil of 2003. It was announced in 2017. In fact, it was announced in 2008, but then they re-announced it in 2017. It's going to be 10 years next year, and there is fucking nothing other than the fucking pig, right? So, in January 2026, Ubisoft announced a major internal restructuring on the way, which included the cancellation of 6 different hard projects. Initially, only one title, piece of Princess of Time remake. So it's remakes. And this is not cancelled yet. Trust me, it's going to be cancelled. It's not coming out. It's never coming out. So, the point I'm making is that there is nothing beyond this. There's nothing for us to see. So let's see. What else is there? Unreal Tournament, of course, Quake, dead. Even racing games are dead, right? Even Rockstar stopped making Midnight Club. Right? Rockstar used to make Midnight Club and they stopped. What does that tell you about the future of racing games? There's nothing. Oh, Gran Turismo, don't play that. I mean, look at this. It's so ancient and antiquated. So, like, and just to show you how what I'm saying is true, even a game like Battlefield. So Battlefield had a very good beta. I played it, I enjoyed it. And, you know, the game sells well. But then they lay off the developer. The game broke every sales expectation for an FPS in 2026. Look at this. EA's Battlefield 6 dominates with $350 million revenue. It sells 6.5 million copies at launch. This is as of October. This is in less than a week. 6.5 million in less than a week. Blockbuster return for Battlefield. And then they laid off the developers. How strange is that? Battlefield devs laid off as the best-selling shooters player can continue to slump, and EA says the cuts are a realignment and good for the game. They already abandoned the game. They already abandoned it. So what are we doing? So, even when your game does well, it's still not going to be supported. So, what's going on? What could they announce Battlefield 7? Could we look forward to Bad Company 3? No, we can't look forward to this thing because there is nothing. Sony franchises are all dead. It's like Uber, Jack and Daxter, Uncharted, Killzone, God of War. God of War is dead. We proved that already. God of War is finished. This has killed the franchise. This Sons of Sparta has completely killed the franchise. Nobody wants to admit it because this game was so bad. People don't understand why I say this game is bad. And maybe in another 3 years' time, people will start to understand why this game is bad. Because it just doesn't expand the franchise enough. Not really a God of War game. It's much closer to The Last of Us than it is to a God of War game. So was this. But this was a little bit better because it was novel. But this was more of the same game. So there's that. Anyway. So because there are no other games left to play after Grand Theft Auto comes out, we have to look to the Chinese, right? Chinese are trying to be the stopgap between what we know traditionally on the West. As I said, as far as Western games are concerned, GTA 6 is it. Right? Going forward, all is going to be GTA, Call of Duty, FIFA, Madden, NHL. Like, is Assassin's Creed even alive? Is the Assassin's Creed franchise even alive as we speak? It's not. So what we're left with is wuxia games from China. Right? So here we go. Wuxia game. And this one is about a chicken. It's the chicken that kills people. So that's weird. Alright, Jinyu looks nice. But if you told me this was Where Winds Meet Season 3, I would think that you were correct. I mean, not argue with you. Because they all look alike. That's not racist, it's just true. So they're all the same game. You cheat away from it. Black Myth, John Quay. Come on, like, so all these games, all of them. I think the only one that is kind of interesting is Phantom Blade Mirror, which is coming out in September this year. So Phantom Blade is coming out. Okay, that's it. That is it. So, guys, just as a way to conclude, this is the last game. This is the final game coming out from this games industry as we know it. Those other games, you see them, you just know nothing is going to exceed what Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to bring. There are much better games than GTA 5. Okay. That is true. Red Dead 2 is better than GTA 5. don't care what anybody says. That's not the truth. But this game, economically, artistically, and otherwise, there is nothing that's going to pass this game. So when this game comes out, just mark it as the day gaming finally has its final nail in the coffin. I can tell you that much. And it's a crying shame because I love this medium, but something happened that made everything just go completely stale. And it's unfortunate. Unfortunate. Here we are. It's a game that I'm definitely going to play. But with how the entire industry is going, rising cost of console, mark this day down as the final day of gaming. Let me know what you think. Leave a like, subscribe. See you in the next one. Out.
Jay, we got more guns than a law allows. Hey, if you got friends, can you hook me up, please?
So weak now, must find blood. Once I was strong, powerful beyond measure, beyond imagination.